how are you doing?
Hey, I'm great. How about you?
I'm great. It's a pleasure having you on the channel. You perhaps don't know this, but of all the interviews that I've done, an interview with you has been the most requested by everybody on the channel.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Almost every single time that I post an interview, there's a comment or several comments asking me, when are you going to talk to Melissa? When are you going to have something on the channel with her?
Oh my God, okay.
So there's a lot of love coming your way.
Wow, thank you so much. A lot of love back.
I want to start off by asking you a very simple, yet I'm sure it's a very difficult question. How many bands / projects is too many?
It's too many when you can't follow anymore and you're crying in a stupid position on the ground like this. I don't know. No, I mean, you have to be reasonable and be able to give a lot of time and energy to each project so that it's worth it to be in that project. You cannot just be halfway in a project and then in another one and then start another one, and then people need you and they need you to spend some time and some energy in the project, and you're not here because you have so many things beside. So you have to find a good balance to be able to make it worth it.
So do you feel like right now you've reached your maximum capacity as far as projects are concerned, or you have a really good way of keeping track of everything and you can include another one or two down the road?
No, right now I think it's enough right now. I mean, I have a kind of a turnover now because Rage of Light released the album at the end of March, and then I have the other album coming in a few months, and in between I'm doing some guest appearances, but that doesn't ask me much. It's not me writing music plus organizing all the things. So there's a turnover that allows me to be present in each project right now.
Well, you mentioned Rage of Light releasing a new album, Imploder, that just came out, a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
That album, to me, I really had a difficult time putting it into a genre because, every single song is something different. Is that album? I felt that album really pushes the boundaries of genres and musical style. Is that really a pure representation of who you are as an artist?
Well, the music itself has been created by John, the keyboard player / bass player / producer / everything you can imagine in the band, because he's a genius, and that's he created the Rage of Light sound, and then we added our touch, because, for example, for the very first songs we did together, he wrote even the lyrics and the vocal lines. And for this album, and also for the previous singles we released, I had the opportunity to also give my touch and to create the vocal melodies. But the essence of the Rage of Light sound is created by all these influences that John has, plus that I have, plus that Noé has, and we've been listening through the years to a lot of music, with metal, all these different genres of metal, like death metal, melodic death metal, symphonic metal, trance metal, etc., etc. And when you like so many styles, you kind of find influences everywhere, and that's, you take the best of what you like, and it creates what you want to achieve somehow. I don't know if it's clear.
No, it's clear as mud, but it's good. It's a good answer. I like it. I just felt that the album was so diverse, so dynamic, and then it just really pulled you in different directions. And almost with every single song, you could get something different out of each track on the album. I want to ask you is how are the shows been live? Because you guys have been playing few shows. Yeah. So how is the album translated from the studio now to the live setting? How has that been?
It's been great. I mean, we were wondering how it would happen, especially with the drums, because, as you know, John wrote crazy fast drums, and we found the guy who is able to play them and who is a fucking beast. And And we rehearsed. We started the rehearsals. I think it was last summer, and then we met regularly in order to really prepare the live set. And we were super happy with what we were hearing because, you go from a studio band to a live band, and then we were preparing this first live show that we had in France, and it was a magical moment because we've been a studio band for a few years, and then we bring live what we had done so far, and you see people singing your lyrics and dancing and screaming and jumping, and it was a beautiful experience.
Is that something that you cannot duplicate for you when you're creating the album in the studio, hoping that you can take it live, and then when you take it live to see that response from the fans? That must really make you feel like you have achieved something.
Yeah, it was unique because it was the very first time we went live. So when we started the project, we decided that it would be just a studio project because I had another band, Jonna had another band, Noe had another band, and we were like, yeah, we would just want to record something and see how it goes and do some videos and go on the internet, and that's it. And then you get the offer from Napalm Records to be part of their roster and to go live and to be a real touring band. And you see the interest of people, and you're like, okay, so let's do it. And but the moment where you, for the first time, you do this transition from a studio band to a live band, that's a magical moment that will never happen again. It's just a feeling that I can't explain it with words.
You mentioned that you guys released a bunch of singles and you did some videos. At that time, at no point in time did you really think you guys going to put a whole record together? Were you just interested in releasing a song here and a song there, or somewhere in the back of your mind did you really feel like at some point in time, okay, we're going to have to get together, kind of put all these songs together, add some more songs, and actually release something?
At first, the idea was just to release an EP, then singles, and perhaps another EP, then perhaps other singles. And but we did this first EP, and then we did 2 singles, and then 1 cover, and then people started to ask, okay, when are you going to do a full-length album? And we had it in the back of our minds, but we're not sure. And finally, we decided to do it.
You talked about the cover. I'm assuming you're referring to Twilight of the Thunder Gods. I have 2 questions about that song for you. Yeah. One is, why that song? And the second question is, why that song? I mean, like, of all the songs that I thought about that you're going to... because I know the song was out before the album came out. You guys released it before. So the song was out there, but that's not an easy song for you to wake up one morning and say, okay, I'm going to do a cover of Amon Amarth, and I'm going to put it out there for the world to see, and then I'm going to include it in the album. What was your thought process, even before you decided, like, thinking about that song? To me, it's just such a unique choice.
Good question. We did... on the EP, we did the first cover, which was a cover of Aqua, which is completely different because it's a completely different genre. So you can metalize it, you can make it completely different. And then John came up with the idea to cover an Amon Amarth song. And I don't remember what our reactions were at that point, but I think we were like, okay, it's either going to be cool or we're going to be destroyed. And we did it anyway. But it was risky because at first I really thought, okay, this is a big thing. And that's Amon Amarth. This is one of their most famous songs. And if we don't do it correctly, then that could be the end of us.
Yeah, that's a song that's going to bring a lot of eyeballs to you guys because it's such a popular song, such a famous song. There is no room for error as far as that song is concerned. It's either going to make you or break you. Were you happy with the final results? Once the song is all put together, were you happy with it?
Yeah, for sure. We would never release something we're not happy with, because it makes no sense. If you're not even happy with it, how can people be happy with it? Because they are much more critical with us because people who are listening to us are used to hearing other bands like Amon, Amarth, Arch and Me, etc., etc. So we have to make the best we can in order to make to make a good impression.
When you approach a cover song, because you're not stranger to doing covers yourself, when you approach a cover song, do you look at making it your own, like taking the original, but then changing it to be almost like making your own fresh new song? Is that the approach that you take when you're looking at making a cover, or do you try to still keep it as closer to the original as possible, but still give a little bit of the Melissa to it?
No, I really try to make a difference so that it's worth it for the person to listen to it. Because, for example, well, I've done a couple of songs just for fun, but when I really take time to do a cover, usually I would, for example, take a song which has been originally sang by a man to make a real difference, or take something completely different, take something very powerful and then do it with the acoustic guitar, to make a difference, to make it worth it to listen to it. And I think it's what we try to do also with Bridge of Light. We try to always change the song so that you don't hear a copy of the original track with another voice.
Yeah, it really, this Amon Amarth song really doesn't come across as that. Let me tell you, it totally feels like a brand new song, and I really love it. I think it's an absolutely tremendous cover. When the first time that I was listening to the record and I got to that, when I saw it on the list, and I'm like, wow, that's going to be interesting. I can't wait to get to it because it's all the way at the end. I can't wait to get to it. When I got to it, I was not disappointed. That was really incredible. Really incredible. By the way, I mentioned this during my review. Your vocals on this record were absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
Like, if there's one thing to take away from this record is how incredible your vocal range is, and how incredible your vocal delivery was on the whole record. It was incredible. I really had a pleasure listening to that album, and a lot of it was due to you.
Thank you so much.
I want to change gears a little bit. I want to talk about Ad Infinitum. You've hinted about who is joining you on this record, about shows, about tracks. At this point in time today, what can you tell us of where it stands as far as? Can you give us any I don't know, any little nuggets, any secrets?
Sure, I will. So far we have 6 songs ready, 4 more to go. We're working with a producer. We're working really fast at the moment. Actually, we deliver, we work on each song. How can I explain? We deliver 1 song every 2 weeks, 1 song completely ready. And I just need afterwards to record the vocals, and we make some little change in some tracks. Like, for example, we'll re-record the rhythmic guitars, or we will arrange the orchestrations afterwards, or whatever. But it's pretty much the song as it will be. So the album is, I would say, apart from the mix and mastering, 70% ready.
Wow.
And so we're super, super happy with the songs. We're working with Oliver Phillips, who is an amazing producer, and he knows. We trust him completely because he's worked with, for example, with Delain, or with Serenity, with Luca Turilli's Rhapsody, and he really guided us and guided me at the beginning when I was alone. And he's doing some amazing job with the orchestrations. Every time I we send him a kind of a demo, good demo or bad demo, sound wise, and he's just making his magic with the orchestrations, and I get it back, and I'm, wow, that's our song.
Like a different track altogether.
Yeah, I mean, you can recognize your song, but then there's this magic with all the orchestrations added to it. And for example, he had an idea to rewrite a little part that just make the thing go to the next level. And the guys now with me, they are doing an amazing job as well. I mean, now I'm not the only one writing anymore. The guys, for example, I have an idea, and I send them the rough demo, and then the drummer rewrites the drums, and then the guitar player rewrites the guitars, etc., etc. And we have a good dynamic. So that's also why it accelerated in the past weeks, and that's why I can say that we're very close to being ready with the musical part of the album. We are also working on the visual part right now, with the, all that comes all around the appearance on stage, and how we will present the band members, etc. And the first gigs are now being booked, and as per my understanding, we will be able to announce them in the next 2 weeks. There will be a tour with the release.
Wow! Great.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing, because we will really be able to release the album, go on tour, and have some great content. We are now organizing some photo shoots, and we will soon be able to deliver some visual content and some great news as well, with a signature, and to finally tell who is working with me.
Yeah, because you kind of hinted at it, and I was like, oh, I wonder who it is. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I can give you a little little glimpse into it. There's one guy from Sweden, two guys from Germany, and there's me.
Oh wow, it's quite a diverse group, I must say.
It is. I'm very happy, because now everybody's really involved in it. And for example, the guy from Sweden, he's very much into designing the stage outfits and all this visual aspect, and he's really, really good at it, and he's very much helping me. And for example, there's one of the guys who's really comfortable with everything that happens on stage logistically with the material, and he's taking care of it, and it helps me a lot.
No, I wouldn't be myself if I didn't ask you this. These guys, are they in other bands, other projects, perhaps?
They are.
Okay. I won't ask any further, because I know you're not going to tell me anything else.
No.
One more thing I want to say, since you guys are working, and it seems like it's really coming along really great, are you aiming at perhaps like a fall release? Definitely this year, correct?
Nope. I think it's not been decided yet, but the tour that we are going to announce will be in the beginning of 2020. Okay. So it makes sense to release the album right before the tour. So it will be beginning of 2020, I guess. I have to talk with people in charge.
Hey, at least I was able to get from you a time frame. This is good. This is good. I feel like I achieved my goal. I feel like I did all right. One more question about this record that I have to ask you is, like you said, you've done on your YouTube channel a few covers. You released that cover of Twilight of the Thunder God with Rage of Light. Are you planning on including any cover songs on this record?
No.
All right.
It's all going to be original songs.
All right. That's good to know, too. So, see, I feel like I achieved my goal. I really feel like I got some information out of you. I wanted to ask you about Queen of the Damned. Yes. How did that come about? Because I really feel like, even though you had that part in that song, it brought that song to life. It really gave that song like this larger than life feel. For those that don't know, Workings released a song that you were featured on, and I really feel like you had a good dynamic with the rest of the band. How did the opportunity come to sing on a track with Workings?
I don't know what you're talking about. That's not me.
Oh.
No, I mean, I was already friends with the guys from Workings, with the Viking, the Tribune, etc., etc. And they, as you know, they already did that song with another singer for their record, but they wanted to do something special for their fans, and they want to create a video and to re-release that song, but in a different way. And they asked me if I was up for it, and I said yes, of course, that's fun.
Yeah, the video looked like was a blast. That's the impression that I had. I mean, those guys, they're a lot of fun. I had a chance to talk to the Viking. We had an interview on the channel, so that was very interesting. So so they seem like a really fun bunch of guys, and it was nice to see you on there. Will you planning on the future perhaps to do a few other collaborations with them down the line?
We have a lot of gigs planned together. I will do all the summer festivals and the next tour with them. They have a tour in October, November. So these are the plans for this year. I will continue to go live with them, and but for the future, I don't know, to be honest.
We'll leave it open.
We'll leave it open.
Yeah, we'll leave it open. I want to talk now about another project that you've been involved with, which is the band Serenity. Any plans for the near future as far as Serenity is concerned?
It's the same with Workings. It's the same as with Workings. I'll do some summer festivals with them as well. Yeah, they have a few dates between now and the end of the year, and I will be almost for all of them with them.
Oh wow! So you really have a busy schedule.
I do.
I'm glad that you were able to fit me in this really busy schedule of yours.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
and I want to switch now. I want to talk about you,
okay.
Right? So I want to look at you, the person, and I want to start with your YouTube channel. You post a lot of covers there. You post a lot of videos of yourself. Do you find that YouTube channel, first of all, is this something that you plan on continuing to do? To use your YouTube channel to put out some videos of you singing and that kind of stuff? And the second part of that question is, do you find that YouTube channel to be perhaps therapeutical for yourself?
To be still what?
To be like almost like a therapy, like a way for you to unwind from all the busy and crazy world of the music business.
Okay, so yes, I plan to continue. I actually would like to do much more on my YouTube channel when I find the time. Right now, it's a bit hard because I'm working a lot with the Ad Infinitum album. But afterwards, I hope that I will have more time to create some cool videos, some cool sneak peeks, or behind the scenes videos. And I also plan to continue doing some covers because that's fun for me. You know, it's just picking a song that I like and trying to modify it a bit, and then playing around with Logic and trying to mix it somehow. I'm not an expert, but I like doing it. And yes, that's something different. You know, when I have to do something for Ad Infinitum, for Rage of Light, or for whatever, it's different. With the content I publish on YouTube, it's more like I want to do it. I want to have fun with this song, or to do that, or do a funny video, or whatever. So yes, it's kind of a how to say, therapy. You said, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it's good therapy. Would you find as an artist, when you're doing covers like that and you're just doing it for fun, but overall as an artist, do you feel like a cover song, when done well, is it a good way to expose yourself to a much larger audience? Because, for example, if I'm searching a song and I find your cover of that song and I go and check it out and I like what you've done, then it gives me the opportunity to go check some of your other work. Do you feel like it's a good avenue perhaps for a new artist or somebody who's coming up who wants to perhaps show their talent and show their work, but finding a way to show it sometimes is not always easy? So doing covers is perhaps a good way to reach a much larger audience? Or for you, it's just absolutely 100% fun and you're not looking at what kind of an audience you can reach?
No, I think it's also a way to reach people people who don't know you yet, and who will, for example, know Kamelot. For example, I did 2 covers of Kamelot, and some people then wrote on my own videos, "Oh, I discovered you because Kamelot republished your cover." And for sure, it's a great way to do it, but then you have to do it in a very professional way. For example, the first covers I did, I was just recording some stuff and then putting the instrumental track with my voice, and it sounded terrible. And now I feel like, since I have these other projects, since I have my bands, I have to make it to take more time to do it in a proper way. You know, I cannot just take 2 hours and record a cover. I really have to take the time to do it properly and to have a standard, let's say.
Yeah, like you're not just going to sit by a window sipping on a coffee and recording a cover.
Exactly.
Even though I think you've done that, but
I did it. I once did a Gus G cover with an acoustic guitar, and I just had, I think it was just live thing, you know. I just put my camera, started to record the sound on another device, and and I played, and then I just put them together, and it was like, nah, that's not perfect, but it will do.
It's not perfect, but it'll do. It'll do.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not ashamed of it, so it should be fun.
I'm not embarrassed by it, so it's good enough to go online. You know what I mean? Like, I've done much worse, and it's okay, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine. I mentioned about your voice when I was talking about Rage of Light and the album. What do you do to maintain your voice? Is there anything specific that you do? I mean, besides warm-ups before shows, is there anything that you do or don't do? Maybe there's something you don't do in order to keep your voice always fresh.
I practice a lot, especially when I'm in the car. I'm very often in the car traveling, for example, from Switzerland to Austria, or from Switzerland to Germany, and I have many hours to do some vocal exercises. So, yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing karaoke, like carpool kind of thing, like while you're driving somewhere, just putting your phone on?
I actually thought about that, and I bought some kind of phone holder, but that's, I mean, I need much more material. I need something with the GoPro, I guess, and a separate mic, and in order to do it, properly, because.
No, but I think the fun part is if it's like, bare bones, like low cost, like just a cell phone, press record. This is me driving to Switzerland, and then you just start singing a song that's coming up on the radio or something. I honestly, I think it would be really cool to see something like that.
Yeah, but that's fun, because I had this idea for a while, and I never really took the time to do it, because I really thought, okay, I really have to organize it, to prepare it, to see which song, because I wanted to do some kind of like a podcast, perhaps, where I do it regularly, and then I choose some songs, for example, 5 songs that influenced me, and then five songs that I use for working out. I don't know, but like doing something regular. But I always felt like it needed some more preparation. But perhaps now that you mention it, I will just do it next time I drive to.
Yeah, I think it would be cool material for your YouTube channel, because I think it would be such a behind the scenes kind of look, because everybody sings while they're driving. You know what I mean? Like, everybody, I butcher every single song, but everybody does it. I've thought about recording myself singing while I'm driving, but I perhaps am embarrassed. Unlike you, I'm embarrassed about putting it out there, because I absolutely butcher every single track. Like, it doesn't matter if I know the lyrics or not, I still find the way to absolutely either butcher or mumble some of the words, some parts where you're not exactly sure of the words.
I didn't think.
You just make the sound with your mouth.
Yeah, sometimes I'm singing a song, and I sing it for 1 year, and then I read the lyrics, and I was like, oh, all right.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That happened with me with a Madonna song. There was a Madonna song. I can't even remember what the song was. I can't remember what the song was. But as a kid, my English was not very good. So as I heard the words, I heard something else, and that something else got stuck with me. And every time that song would come up, I would sing it that way until I did it in front of somebody, and they said, "Dude, that's not the lyrics at all. Like, you're like way off, like way off." So I think that kind of stuff would be really fun. I would love to see those kind of videos from you, posting up you driving and singing along. I think that would be absolutely amazing.
I think I would do it. You know what? The only problem is when you get stuck in the traffic jam. I have this funny story. I was driving a long distance, and then I was stuck in the car. I was stuck in the traffic jam, and I just opened the windows, and I was bored, and then a song that I love comes up, and I start to sing it, but very loud, and then I just turn my head, and I realize my windows are open, and people just beside me are like, you're loud, you're very loud now.
Oh, that's so
like, okay. Close the windows.
Close the windows and hope that the red light turns green so I can move out of here.
Exactly. And
I think those moments are absolutely priceless. Now imagine if that was on video.
Oh, that would have been amazing. I would still laugh about it. I don't really care about it.
I have one more question for you. I don't want to take too much of your time. And my last question is, you've worked with some amazing musicians. You've worked with some amazing bands. Is there anybody on your bucket list that you would love to work with, either a specific musician or a band?
Yeah, there is one. You know, I've always been inspired by Kamelot, and when I started to listen to metal music, I think that's one of the first bands I heard, and I've always been amazed by their music, by their universe, by, you know, I can listen to their albums and again in repeat, and I think that's one of the bands with whom I would like to work the most. Yeah.
Well, they're on the same label.
Yeah, they are.
So you know what? Maybe the next album they'll call you up and they'll take you on the road with them. You know.
Perhaps.
Hey, the word is out now. The word is out. So perhaps we'll get a phone call next time around. That's really incredible. I think you'd be a perfect match for them, specific for their style and how they structure their songs. I really think you would fit perfectly into that.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Melissa, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate this conversation with you today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, and all the best of luck with the new album that's coming out and with the shows with Rage of Light. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.